This is time so deep that time as a construct was hundreds of millions of years away. This is the history of sea coasts replaced by mountains and catastrophic weather sweeping across river deltas on the low Devonian landscape. A history 385 million years old. So long ago that there was no history, only prehistory. This is the story of a blue planet becoming green with Earth's first forests. The winding fossilized roots of Archaeopteris trees are etched into this limestone quarry in the Catskill Mountains, behind the highway department of a small, quiet New York State town. I'm standing on ancient rocky paleosoil. It feels like strange magic, but this is science. Geology, climatology, paleobotany. These stony roots are what remain of the oldest forest ever discovered, a way to see deep time in real time behind a pile of discarded tires, a dump truck, and a chain link fence. Here, the birth of trees is visible, a premonition in a gravel pit, a portal. The first forest pulled bitter, murky carbon from the atmosphere, changing the composition of Earth's environment and creating the beginning of a habitable, well-oxygenated planet. These trees made us possible. They turned the murk into air. This spot on the map is a creation story in the form of tree roots, red stones, and carbon dioxide pumping in photosynthetic branches, long before trees had leaves. This is a story of ecological endurance. In Arctic Svalbard, Devonian tree stumps stand where they grew. Tropical leaves from the Eocene, 350 million years later, are imprinted on icy boulders, evidence of the archipelago drifting north from the equator. Deep time is reflected everywhere we breathe, because those first trees, Archaeopteris, lycopods, cladoxylopsids, and aneurophytes, made breathing possible. On the arid northwest plains of China, eastern Greenland, western Venezuela, northern Scotland, here in the Catskills surrounded by ATV tracks and ringed by a concrete barricade, and 15 miles south of this spot, submerged under a reservoir, all these fossil forests were part of a mid-Devonian, global, arboreal transformation. But trees aren't seen as pioneers or agents of change anymore. It's easy to dismiss a tree, but harder to dismiss oxygen. The first trees reduced atmospheric carbon by a factor of 15 and delivered a fresh planet. But in a twist of ecological irony, they were also the most important contributors to the massive coal beds that fueled the Industrial Revolution. Still, the line from those first trees to boggy remains of the Gira's 9,000-year-old oaks, to every other oak, palm, cypress, any tree that ever lived, is direct but growing thin. There are 3 trillion trees on the planet. We're losing 15 billion a year. In the frail speck of time that represents humanity, we've run wild in clouds of carbon and sawdust, blinded by progress, soot and smog, ticking the CO2 back up and remaking the murk. There may still be more trees on this planet than stars in the Milky Way, but we've nearly halved the number since the start of human history. The impossibility of imagining 385 million years into the future does not make us blameless.